Well, hello. Welcome back to the Scale My Shopify Store podcast. Kath Langman here, your host on the show. And today is a bit of a fun episode for you because if you are in Australia or New Zealand, no doubt you cannot have escaped the fact that, I don't know, it feels like the entire universe has been taken over by Taylor Swift's tour. And, with all of this hype and media coverage about her Down Under tour, it just really got our entire team thinking about the marketing. It's like a marketing juggernaut that has really been, powering Taylor Swift and her incredible show. She's broken so many records. International records in terms of income and ticket sales and all kinds of things with this particular tour. And, she's a pretty incredible female. And I have to say that I'm not a Swiftie. I don't come from a family with Swifties. If you're watching this video, you can probably see behind me, I'm recording this in what is essentially a rock and roll recording studio. There's a couple of my husband and a couple of my kids. They are, rock and roll musos. They like, all into the grunge and the honestly, I think my teenagers should have been born in the early 90s. But anyway, besides that though, I mean, I don't think we could escape this incredible juggernaut that is the Taylor Swift Down Under tour. And so did you know, and like I've been reading about all of these stats and facts and records and all this kind of stuff. And also we do have two Swifties on our team who have been in full-blown Taylor Swift mania with their daughters and, attending the concerts. So did you know that the average Swiftie fan wasn't just attending a concert, but embarking on, like it was like a full-blown adventure, So there was like an estimated spending of $1,300 per person on tickets and travel and accommodation and merchandise. And so, it is clear that attending a Taylor Swift concert was really a whole lot more than just going to a gig. It wasn't just about going to see someone play music. It was kind of like a pilgrimage for these fans. In fact, one of my clients who is New Zealand based, lives in New Zealand, said that she knows people who literally flew from New Zealand to Melbourne on spec. They didn't have tickets and they were just hoping and praying that they would be able to turn up on the day and be let in. So it definitely was kind of like a pilgrimage. And so we're going to kind of dive into the marketing juggernaut behind this incredible event and really tease out some of the insights and the lessons that as business owners we can take from this this amazing production and how we can apply that to building your brand and growing your business. So I want you to grab your sparkly outfits and get ready to uncover some of the marketing strategies and business lessons that has made the Eras Tour such an unforgettable journey for fans and, of course, a lucrative venture for Taylor Swift herself. So the first thing that we should look at has to be how she has managed to build hype. I mean, Taylor Swift is kind of like the ultimate boss lady, and she's totally nailed her pre-tour hype game. Her team pulled off this promotional fiesta by creating major excitement in her fan base. And so how did they do that? So they were using social media teasers, secret sauce clues, hidden gems, and fantastic interactions, pun intended, with Swift sprinkling, a little bit of mystery, stirring in a little bit of fascination, and voila, she set the stage for an unforgettable and crazy anticipated experience, and experience being the word there. So how can you build this a little bit into your own business? And, in particular, when you've got something major coming up, like a product launch, or you are coming into the peak season for your particular product category, or it is, major sale event coming up, these would be the 3 times in your, promotional calendar where this is really, really relevant. So creating buzzworthy content. So just like Taylor Swift teased her fans with cryptic clues and hidden gems, you can create that kind of buzzworthy content for your business as well. So this could be sneak peeks of upcoming products. It could be behind the scenes looks at your team in action or how your products are made, or even some fun challenges or contests for your audience to engage with. Anything that makes it that, interactive experience, but also builds up that anticipation is really what you're going for here. And next, of course, leveraging social media. So this is something that you are hopefully all already doing, but it is very important to be using social media platforms to your advantage. And of course, the ways that we try and use these platforms to our advantage, they do, of course, change over time, with how the platforms are changing and the algorithms changing and the format of the content changes, et cetera, et cetera. So, but what you really want to do when it boils down to it is to share your content across different channels where your target audience hangs out. You want to make use of a variety of content types as well. Don't just stick to what you know because it's easy. So you want to be, using stories, live videos, interactive features, and anything else that you can think of that's going to keep your audience engaged and excited. This month in our client coaching group, we have been doing a challenge through the month of February about mastering another channel. So a channel that you're not already using and being able to build out that content plan and do so in a way where you're going to be increasing the size of your engaged audience, increasing the number of brand discoveries with people who don't know you, and also finding a way to execute on a content plan that doesn't just add another 10 hours a week to your workload. So that's been a really useful exercise that's helping in our group. The next thing though that you want to think about is creating that aura of excitement, because if we can build anticipation for your products or services by creating that, it is almost a ethereal kind of aura that we want to go for, because that if we can do that as a brand, it makes us a little bit more untouchable when it comes to competitors coming on the scene. So this could involve, again, teasing your upcoming launches, sharing your sneak peeks, even hosting exclusive events or previews for your most dedicated customers. One of our clients at the moment has the most incredibly engaged private Facebook group for her VIPs. So not just anyone can get in there. And it is such a love fest. And, they are all over any new thing that comes in, any new designs, any new colorways. And, so that can be such a fantastic way to be, creating that aura of excitement and, ultimately building these rusted on fans, like rust, they're not going anywhere, right? They are so, they just, they're just so in love with your brand. It's like they're the raving fans, and that's what you want. Which brings us to the next thing that Taylor Swift is particularly good at, and that is forging personal bonds with fans. And so one standout aspect of the Eras Tour marketing was Taylor Swift's genuine commitment to building personal connections with her fans. And she really went above and beyond by organising pre-show gatherings, spontaneous meet and greets, and exciting online contests. I even, heard about her dad, whose job it was to, give out some, free upgrades and, things like that. And, these initiatives not only made fans feel deeply involved and invested in the tour's success, but it also gave them a real sense of ownership in its achievements as well. And, to top it off, Taylor incorporates a money can't buy experience during her shows where one diehard lucky fan gets chosen to meet her. And of course, that, further solidifies the bond between the artist and the audience. And, when you think about it, she's doing this at scale. She has an enormous audience. I mean, I think the Melbourne shows were the record-breaking numbers that she'd played to, nearly 100,000 every night. Like, she's doing this at scale. And so I think all of us can take some learnings from this into our business. And we should be able to find ways to really build relationships with our customers. And I think, oftentimes I see in e-commerce, it is a business model because it's purely online. There is that temptation to remain a little bit aloof and anonymous to your customers, and kind of hide behind the screen in a way. And I'm not suggesting that all of us have to suddenly jump on live videos and be singing and dancing in front of the camera. Of course, I'm not suggesting that, but there are ways that you can engage with your audience. So if we take some lessons from Taylor Swift, so she engaged with her fans through interactions and responses. And so we can do that too. You can engage with your audience by actually responding to comments. You can ask for their real opinions. You can incorporate their feedback into your business decisions. And you need to make this obvious and communicate that, right? It's like, imagine if you were the customer that made a suggestion for a new product, even if you had personally thought about it at the back of your mind, but not executed on it yet. If you share the fact that so-and-so contributed to this, I mean, they're going to, of course they're going to want to buy it. And, it does give your audience that sense of, they contributed to this. And so it's a little bit of them. And the pride and the sense of achievement is quite tangible, and translates to some fabulous word of mouth referral type marketing and all of that kind of virality that we really want to achieve. And so and not only that, but it helps to build that sense of community and helps your customer base and your audience to feel really valued and involved. Secondly, finding ways to use social media to build that relationship with your audience. So you definitely want to ensure that you are including content that helps your audience, not just posts that ask for a purchase. So that kind of value add type content. And so an easy way to do this is to include people in your post creatives. When you include people, it does increase the chances of people seeing themselves in a way, not that they're literally seeing themselves necessarily, but it's that recognition of familiarity in what they're seeing and what you have to say, and that definitely leads to increases in engagement. Definitely seeing the brand owners or the team behind a brand also helps to create a connection. And so this could be anything from people who are helping to pick and pack, or people who are on the production line, or, it could be anyone who's working with you. It doesn't just have to be the business owner. However, as the business owner, this can help. I mean, like Taylor popping up in her fans' feed, if you are seen in your audience's on their screen, in their hand, on their phone, anywhere in their home where it's familiar, they start to feel like they really know you, and that builds additional trust and connection. And I want to point out here the real importance of this and the competitive advantage that it can give you, because if you have that kind of connection and engagement with your audience, from showing up in a variety of different ways, it's not just putting out the glossy branded content. It's the more organic and in the moment type connections and engagements. It's like building a moat around a castle. You make it much more difficult for competitors to poach your customers because they have this engaged relationship with you. So it's really, really important. And then rewarding customer loyalty. So just like Taylor Swift values her fans, show appreciation to your loyal customers. And so this could be through exclusive discounts. It could be through early access to new products. It could be other special perks that you can think of for just being an engaged, vocal in a positive way member of your community. And there'll be a variety of different ways that you can do that, depending on what you sell and your product range, and whether you have other kind of digital content value adds or whatever. I mean, there's going to be loads of different ideas that you could build in there. Next, I want to talk about sponsorships, partnerships, and collaborations. So, it's normal with touring music artists, such as Taylor, to partner with one of the leading ticketing platforms. And so Taylor utilized Ticketmaster's verified fan program. And so her tour also partnered with some other strategic partners. So Crown in Australia for accommodation, and also, she has a collaboration with Spotify that offers an exclusive interactive experience and allowed listeners to curate their top 5 Taylor Swift's eras and share their picks with friends on social media. So, how could take a leaf out of this book and build it into your business? And the goal here is to expose your brand to a new audience where, if you can partner with another business or, with influencers or other, maybe experts or personalities or, media or anything like that, that really can help expose your brand to a new audience that you may not have reached otherwise. And this can really help, not just in brand visibility, potential customer acquisition, but it also, it immediately bestows a level of credibility, really, because you are essentially being recommended by a trusted source, right? And before I continue on here, when you think about who you should form a strategic partnership with or a collaboration with, have a think about where your customers might go to shop before they might come to a product or a brand like yours. Where might they go afterwards? So, you're thinking related products or services or, you know, people in your space that have audiences that are related somehow. And then also, think laterally about, where else they would shop at the same time that they might be shopping with you. And so that might give you a little bit of guidance. Next, let's talk about pooled resources. So collaborations allow businesses to pool their resources such as marketing budgets, their expertise, and of course their networks as well. And this can definitely lead to cost savings and efficiencies, especially if you're a smaller business with limited resource. And an idea here would be during Black Friday last year that in the lead up to that promotion, we organized with a whole lot of our clients, kind of splitting them up into groups that had kind of similar ideal customer bases, but they were, obviously not competing brands with each other. And, went out with a combined audience and list building promotion, and then the actual Black Friday promotions themselves, and being able to share all of this out with each other's audiences meant that they were getting in front of, an ideal audience with that warm referral, warm recommendation without necessarily spending a ton more on ads. And so that worked really, really well. But also, let's think about inspiring creativity and innovation, because collaborations can often bring together diverse perspectives and diverse skill sets and help to foster creativity and innovation. And this can lead to the development of some pretty unique products, services, or marketing campaigns that can resonate with customers. You see this sometimes with with brands where they might team up with an artist or to do custom designs, or brands where there might be, say, a homewares brand that teams up with a wine brand or something along those lines, or a coffee brand, so like the products get used together, and that can be amazing. But also sometimes a new product can come out of it, so everybody gets another channel of revenue when that happens, which is pretty cool. Also think about the enhanced credibility. So I mentioned before, when you get that warm introduction to somebody's existing audience, it does bestow a level of credibility. And that's because you are partnering with, well, obviously you would partner with reputable brands or individuals, but they are trusted brands and individuals by their audiences. So the reputation of those brands and individuals kind of transfers to you when they recommend you, right? And that helps to really enhance your own brand and business's trustworthiness in the eyes of your customers or your potential customers. And it can also really signal to potential customers that your business is almost endorsed by that trusted entity. And that's fairly invaluable when it comes to marketing. So, certainly something that I think everybody should be trying to adopt in your own business. Next, I want to touch on Taylor Swift and her ability to infuse a touch of nostalgia into her, this major touring event. And, she is quite brilliant at building in some threads of nostalgia into her highly awaited Eras tour. And she was drawing inspiration from the success of her re-recorded albums, for example, and embracing the collective memories and emotions of her loyal fan base. And I'm not going to dive into what happened that led to her needing to re-record her early albums. You can go and read that media. It was a bit of a heartbreaking situation, but she definitely took her power back like the girl boss she is, and reclaimed ownership of her back catalogue. And she didn't just leave it there. She really rode that wave and built that nostalgia into this tour. And nostalgia is an emotion that is, it's a very positive emotion, and it evokes those familiar sentiments from the past. It helps, like just anytime you can engage with the emotions of your audience, that is you're immediately, that marketing content that you're producing is going to resonate and just be way more effective. So for Taylor, instead of relying on external trends, she really ingeniously managed to leverage her own musical evolution and the emotional landscape, I suppose, that Swifties experienced during the original releases. And so by revisiting her earlier works, she not only celebrates her artistic growth, but also invites fans to reminisce about the moments when her music became, I guess, the soundtrack to their lives. So how could we build a little bit of nostalgia into your own business? So you could start with product development and create products that do kind of evoke a little bit of nostalgia by tapping into some trends, styles, or designs from the past. For example, fashion brands can design clothing inspired by retro fashion trends, or baby and children products that can draw on similar products from the brand's owner's own childhood, for example. And certainly, in fashion, there's always historic fashion eras that are coming back into style again, and it would be for this reason, right? What about your marketing campaigns? You could develop marketing campaigns that resonate with customers' nostalgic feelings. Use imagery, slogans, or themes that remind customers of their past experiences or their fond memories. And this could involve using throwback photos, vintage graphics, or references to popular culture from previous decades. With customer engagement, create opportunities for customers to engage with your brand through nostalgic experiences. And this could include hosting events or workshops that celebrate retro themes, launching limited edition products inspired by nostalgic trends, or sharing user-generated content that showcases customers' personal nostalgic connections to your brand. Next, let's think about this Eras tour and how it's become a bit of a memento of the moment, or how you could gift your customers or your audience a memento of a moment the way that Taylor Swift does. So from branded clothing to other exclusive goodies, the Taylor Swift fans were, utterly determined to get their hands on a little bit of the Taylor Swift experience. Posters were priced at $40. Tour hoodies were $120. T-shirts were $65. Water bottles were $40. Canvas tapestries were available for $55. Just blows my mind. But fans were queuing up early ahead of the shows to secure these prized items before they sold out. Even members of our own team got swept up in the excitement, and one team member braved a trek across town just days before the show to make sure her family and friends were merch ready for the upcoming event. And let's just say that while her family might be on a diet of beans and toast for the next month, she definitely got her hands on those goodies. And as devoted Swifties, they believe every penny spent is worth it for the chance to be part of the magic. So, how can you build this into your own business, this merch uh, strategy? And, it can help you build brand visibility, right? So, when customers use your product in their daily lives, they essentially become brand ambassadors and they help spread awareness of your brand and help to generate buzz. So, is there a way that you can incorporate your own branding on products and packaging to maximize this kind of brand visibility, and obviously still do it, make sure that you are doing it in a way that still makes your product desirable, and you don't want to sort of go suddenly into the world of cheap and tacky merchandise. A brand that I would suggest does this extremely well is True Protein, and they do an excellent job with their merch. And obviously that's a um, protein and other sort of similar protein shakes, protein bars, various different supplements and things like that. And it's very much geared towards the gym goers, athletes, competitive sports, all of that kind of stuff. Obviously, my competitive swimmers at this end are into it, and we have all kinds of True Protein merch in the house now. I think we got a gym bag last month, and socks, towels, all of this kind of stuff, but it's decent quality, and they get used. So that's certainly turning our kids into brand advocates for that particular brand every time they go to the gym or the pool. What about the ultimate post-purchase upsell? So Swiftie fans, they were already committed to the experience once they had purchased their tickets, obviously. So tapping into that excitement and desire to show their loyalty made for some pretty easy merchandise upsells. So you could create upsells, whether during the purchase or post-purchase period, that are really personalized to the product that your customer is buying. So you can ensure that you are selling the customer benefits of the upsell product and how it will enhance their experience when it's used in conjunction with the product that they have already committed to purchasing. And I want to give a brief shout out to one of our coaching clients, Ocean Armor, and they are just over a year into their business journey now, or since launch anyway, and going amazingly. They keep running out of product, but with their particular products, there are a couple of hero products that everybody pretty much buys, but they're made out of a custom developed fabric that is unique to this particular brand. And there's always some offcuts when you make anything from textiles, really. And so they have come up with a couple of ingenious ideas for useful product add-ons that will not only, they will be great, they'll make great value add type purchases, whether it's at a, upsell situation, post-purchase or pre-post-purchase, or adding freebies in for bundles or whatever. I mean, there's going to be a variety of ways that they can use it, but they'll actually be useful. Customers will actually want them because they will be adding value and being useful, and they are reducing waste because they're using material that otherwise couldn't have been used. So that's a fantastic way to do it. What about limited edition items? You could offer limited edition or exclusive items to create a sense of urgency and exclusivity amongst your customers. And this could include releasing seasonal collections, collaborating with local designers and brands, or creating special themed merchandise for events or milestones. I would suggest one brand that I think does an amazing job of working, with collaborating with other designers and brands to produce collections would be Kip & Co. I'm sure many of you listeners would know of that one, but lots of people do it. What about Frank Green? I think they started to release that style as well. Maybe the two of them collaborated together, and that's probably why I'm thinking of them in one sentence. But it can be a really effective way to do it. Also things, that might be released for a particular milestone. I mean, even the big names do that. You see car brands releasing, milestone things. I remember back when we went through the turn of the millennium and it was the year 2000. I think a lot of brands released those limited edition new millennium items. So that could, and when you have limited edition, of course, you can maximize the marketing strategy of scarcity, because once it's gone, right? So that can be a pretty exciting promotion to run. Let's talk about letting the data help guide decisions, because utilizing the strength of data-driven decision-making, the team leading Taylor Swift's Eras Tour intricately customized their marketing tactics to connect with distinct target demographics. This methodical strategy guaranteed precise resource allocation. It helped significantly to boost the impact of their promotional endeavors, and it really played a pivotal role in the tour's financial triumph. So, I mean, making data-driven decisions with an online business, and when you are using digital marketing to promote and grow your business, it is critical. So let's talk about how you can build this strategy into your business. So measuring and oh, I've got a excuse me, I just had a little fly buzzing around my mouth and it was quite irritating. Measuring and adapting. So in our business, in our agency, we talk about metrics Mondays, but it is incredibly important to keep track of the effectiveness of your promotional efforts. And this is not something that you can start one day when you are successful and you have time to think about it. This is going to be critical to your success. You need to be monitoring metrics like engagement rates, website traffic, conversion rates, average order value, customer lifetime value, even looking at things like add to cart rates and, seeing just, identifying where customers are dropping off, what is helping them to convert, what do you need to optimize to improve, and not just on your website, in all of the channels that you're working across as well, so that you can clearly see what's working and what's not. And then, when you have that information, that's what helps you to adapt your strategies, pivot if you need to, double down if the data suggests it's worth it, and, continue to build that excitement and drive business growth. Personalized customer experiences as well. I mean, I don't think you can talk about Taylor Swift's Eras Tour without talking about the experience, right? And in fact, in recent, 1 to 2 years, more and more research is proving that customers will shop more from an e-commerce store that gives them an amazing customer experience. And, being able to provide a great customer experience, it's never going to be about having nice looking branding and a great product. It's not enough. And it's certainly not going to be achieved by taking a off the shelf theme for your website, putting your color codes in, putting your fonts in, uploading your logo and your images. It's not enough, right? That is not going to give an outstanding customer experience. You're just meeting the level of expectation, and that's not going to blow anyone away, really. So you want to leverage data to personalize the customer experience and use customer data to deliver personalized product recommendations, targeted email and SMS marketing campaigns, and customized offers as well that cater to the individual preferences and needs. And honestly, when we have tools at our disposal now, like Klaviyo, for example, we have so much, so like the algorithms are so powerful and the AI behind it is so powerful that we really have no excuse not to be doing this in our business, even if we are solo operators. The technology is there, it's accessible. What about brand storytelling? In the world of marketing, storytelling becomes such a powerful tool that, of course, helps to add a personal touch to the brands, but it also helps again to engage, a brand to engage with their audience in a memorable way, transforming the brand into something that's more than just products or services, but into relatable and unforgettable experiences. And Taylor Swift's Eras Tour is a perfect illustration of this. showcasing her skillful storytelling as she takes her audience on a journey through the various chapters of her musical career. So, how could you build this into your business? So, start with your brand identity and craft a really compelling brand story that communicates the values, the vision, the mission, and the unique characteristics and personality of your business. You know, you can share the story of how your business was founded, the challenges that you've overcome, the passion driving your work. You know, try and humanize your brand and, tell this in a storytelling kind of way, because, this is what's going to help your customers to connect with your business on a deeper, more emotive level. But it's also going to aid a lot with recollection, with memory. So, when you think about the way that we shop, there would be like, we're as just humans existing in society these days, we are seeing and hearing so many hundreds and thousands of marketing messages and just bits of information generally. And there's only so much that our memory can retain. But storytelling is uh, a technique that helps us to remember. And if we turn to the oldest Australians, our Indigenous populations, I mean, they have lived for so long as a culture, and they were in the past, they were not writing stories. So they had to have a way where they could impart information to their younger generations in a way that would be remembered, so that all of that information passed from one generation to the next, and storytelling was the way that they did it. So try and incorporate stories, both visual as well as in the written word, into your marketing. With your product descriptions, you can use storytelling to describe your products in a way that really resonates with your target audience. Go-To Skincare does an amazing job of this. Instead of just listing features, you want to share stories of how your products or services have made a really positive impact on customers' lives. And this is going to really help potential customers understand the value of the product to them, and of course of the brand and business overall. And it just helps, create that emotional connection, like, I want this, I need this, this is for me, is the reaction you want. And then in your content marketing, create engaging content that tells stories related to your industry, your niche, or your area of expertise. So this could include blog posts, videos, podcasts, social media content, email content, and share valuable information, entertain your audience, highlight the human side of your business. That whole edutainment concept is what I want to remind you of here. So lots of things there, right? And so I want to ask and invite you to think about, what's the biggest takeaway for you from Taylor Swift's Eras Tour marketing extravaganza? It's all about building hype, forging personal bonds, and infusing a touch of nostalgia into your brand, and just overall giving an amazing experience. Just like Taylor, let your creativity soar and harness the power of storytelling to really connect with your audience on a deeper level, whether it's through that engaging social media content, personalized customer experiences, or some strategic collaborations. Just remember to let your brand story shine bright. So I want you to go ahead, embrace the data, unleash your inner storyteller, and just sit back and watch your business absolutely rock the stage, with or without some sequins. Up to you. So that's what I have for you today. I hope that you have enjoyed this episode. It was a little bit of fun for the team and I to put together. And I really hope that you have enjoyed it, as well as taken a little bit of inspiration and some key takeouts that you might be able to implement into business. I would certainly love to hear from you if you either enjoyed it, or if there is one or two of these strategies that that you could implement and that would benefit your brand. Send me a DM, put a comment in our Scale My Shopify Store Facebook group, or reply to one of my emails. Let me know. I would absolutely love to hear from you. That's it from me today. Maybe one final comment and call out. If you haven't already, go check out our new website. It's live, catherinelangman.com. It's a lot more fun as well, and hopefully reflective of where this podcast has come over so many years. Check it out and let me know if you love it. Catch you later, guys. Have an amazing week, and I'll be with you on the show again next week. Bye for now.